This is a quick beginner tutorial on how to do your first engraving in Rayforge. When you open the app, it looks something like this. And you start by right-clicking and choosing New Stock. And you can choose a particular material for this. Let me choose oak here. This is not necessary to do, but it makes it nicer to look at later. I can also set what the thickness of the stock will be. Let's make this 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters. And next, you right-click on the background again to create a new sketch here. And then right-click again, choose the ellipse tool, and by clicking and dragging, you see the ellipse appears. By holding Control, I constrain this to be a circle. Then I right-click again, choose the Select tool, and then I double-click this line here to give it the dimension, 25 millimeters. And that's it. Now I have my circle. And I click Finish. And there it is. Of course, I can drag this around. I can also double-click it to edit it again if I want to. But leave it as is. And let's check in the step settings what the laser power settings are. So you can see here on the laser tab, this is set to 80% laser power. Let's make this, I don't know, 55, something like this. And when I'm happy with this, I can also check here the cut speed, enable or disable air assist. But let's leave the settings as they are. They're fine for my machine. And then I can click here on the Show 3D Preview button. And as you can see, you get a nice preview. And down here you have a control bar, and you can use that to go to a particular place in the job, or you just press play. Then this will show you how the machine would engrave this right now. And by clicking with the middle mouse button and dragging, you can rotate this any way you want. And by middle clicking and shift and dragging, you drag this and can move it around the canvas. Can be very useful on more complex parts. So now I'm happy with this. Then I do recommend that you perform a framing first. Framing is a command you send to the laser to drive the laser around the engraving area. This is useful if you don't know where to put the wood in the machine. So you can use this button and the laser will circle around this or drive around this in a square around the area that will be engraved. For this to work, you have to have configured your machine properly. In the machine settings, the settings for your laser head are here under the framing. I have configured mine for 1% of the total power output. And that is such low power that it wouldn't mark the wood, but it's still visible on my machine. The settings differ, of course, depending on how powerful your laser it is. So once you have done the framing, then the next step is to press this button here, which is to send the job to the machine. This would start the actual engraving. Mine is insensitive now because my machine is powered off because it's very noisy. Yeah, and that's about it. During the job, you can cancel it by pressing here the cancel button if you need to. And that's it. One caveat, or good to know, if you do not see any engraving here in the preview, there is a good chance that this is a misconfiguration. Again, in the machine settings, a common cause of this is to configure this as Z-axis. Most hobby machines don't have a Z-axis. And if you configure a Z-axis, then it would put the laser engraving at 0, which is actually underneath the workpiece, so you wouldn't see it. But if you correctly disable the Z-axis, then Rayforge automatically lifts the laser to the top of the stock so that it's visible. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know.